Welcome to the Big Ideas Show. Today I'm joined by Robert Richardson from the Grand and Folkestone Town Talk.
Yep, thank you very much for inviting me.
It's good to have you here for our discussion on so much to do, so little time. We are very lucky, aren't we, in Folkestone, to have a plethora of things, but we all have busy schedules, so how do we fit them all in?
We do. We've got such a fantastic town in Folkestone. Everyone's committed to driving it forward and putting so much on for the residents and visitors. But, you're right, there's only so many hours in the day.
Exactly, and that is going to be our discussion coming up after these titles. So, welcome back and welcome to the hot seat, Robert.
Yeah, well, it's more intimidating than I thought, to be fair, actually.
You've seen it from the other side.
I've seen it from the other side, I've seen it from my laptop, and now I'm seeing it from this side. So
now you're in the hot seat, aren't you?
So bear with me.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. We'll have a chat. Because we've having a bit of a pre-chat, haven't we? And got very passionate, and we were like, right, we just need to turn the camera on, get you on screen.
Get it done. And
yeah, because we are very lucky, and you get to see so much of it, kind of both at the Grand and with Folkestone Town Talk. So many events. Folkestone's a real doing town, isn't it?
It really
People
is.
Get up and get on with things.
It really is. We have Town Talk, and through that we get to see it on a week-by-week basis what's going on in Folkestone.
Yeah.
And there's never nothing, basically. There's never a period where you're scrabbling around for content thinking, what can I actually put in here today? And if you look at the Grand, we've always got something going on every day of the week. And you apply that over the whole of the district, because the Grand and Town Talk, we're not the be-all and end-all. But over the entirety of the district, there's just so much going on in Folkestone. There is no 2 days that are alike, and there's so many passionate people behind every one of those projects, just wanting to drive it forward and wanting people to come and see what this wonderful area is like, and what we can actually do when we put our minds to it. Yeah,
and we're going to be talking about, though, aren't we? I guess there's a few challenges there. Firstly, how do people find out about these events? And there's a number of, Folkestone Town Talk's one of them.
Town Talk's one.
There's a number of groups, aren't there? That are doing bits, a number of pages that are all trying to pull things together in these events, but ultimately we end up with lots of different pockets.
Exactly.
And no one's able to get all of them. And then the second challenge is that we're so busy, there's so much, we can't go to all of it. And also as producers putting on these events, the temptation is often you're so focused on putting on your own one, you don't often see
what else is going out there. And I think I'm more guilty than most about that.
Yeah, well, me too. So busy producing stuff, you've got to kind of take in the bigger picture.
You get into a project and your head's down, you're blinkered, because that's human nature. You want to deliver the best project possible, and when that's done, you've got in the back of your mind, you've got the next one to deliver and the one after that. So it's almost like a conveyor belt in a sense, and you're always very, very aware of what you're doing, to the exclusion of everything else. And I know we've just had a fantastic bank holiday weekend in Folkestone at the time that we're filming this, and there was a massive amount going on. And as we said when we were talking earlier, more happened this bank holiday weekend, I think, in not just the district but the county as a whole, than happened last year. And I know as late as Friday, I'm scrolling on various social media sites, and I'm seeing things that I didn't know about. Because you can't read every newspaper and look at every website, and there's not a push notification to your phone that says such and such is happening here or such and such is happening here.
God, they'd be going all the time. Bing, bing, bing,
it
bing,
would
bing.
never stop, would it?
Yeah, you wouldn't actually get to do anything because you'd be constantly
looking at your phone.
Yeah.
And with so much going on, you'll find something you want to do, and then you'll find there was something better. Looking at the bank holiday weekend, there was something I really, really wanted to do, but I ended up doing something else because I didn't know about the thing I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I'm not unique in that. And the district is massive at the end of the day. Just Folkestone with Hythe, Romney Marsh, Dymchurch, Elam Valley, and everywhere else. There's so much going on, and multiply that to the entirety of Kent. You just can't get around everything. Yeah,
definitely. It's a big challenge, but also a big opportunity. I don't want to say it in a negative way. So we're going to be exploring that. We're going to be discussing, see if we can kind of pull some ideas. But first we're going to do some quick fire questions.
Great, okay.
We're going to learn a bit more about you first. So, here we go. Okay. Favourite colour?
Favourite colour? Depending on my mood, it's either blue or like a dark red. Basically, don't know why.
Two ends of the scale.
Two ends of the scale.
Okay. Right, 3 core values.
3 core values. Honesty. I know that's trite, but honesty. You'll find in life and in work, the more honest you are, the quicker you'll get to the point you want to be at. Basically, there's no messing around. There's no ambiguity. core values, what else? Direction. You know,
Okay.
at the end of the day, again, I manage the brand and it's big, and without a clear direction for me, for my team, then we're not going to get where we want to be. So
Yeah.
it is so important to start with a direction.
Yeah.
Where do we want to go? We want to deliver this product in our restaurant. So that's the end point. The direction is how we get to it. We've got this talk today. We know what we want to talk about, so the direction is there. So now we just need to do it.
Yeah.
So that is massively, massively important, and ultimately approachability.
Okay.
You know, it's
nice.
like yourself. I've seen you on TEDx. I've seen you on the Big Ideas show, heard your radio show, and it's only really we've actually physically known each other for a month.
Yeah.
You know, corresponded online for a couple of years, and we met face to face for a month ago. So it's really about approachability
Yeah.
and being welcoming, and actually making someone feel that you're a nice person to work with, to do business with, and to maybe have an opportunity with.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
in a rambling sense, I think that would be my core
Approachability.
values.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Favourite medium for self-expression or to share a message?
Definitely social media. Absolutely love social media because it is so direct. You
Yeah.
know, you really do get your message out there. If we go back 6 or 7 years, when social media was totally in its infancy, you'd be putting things out regularly in press content. So if I look at the press content for advertising at the Grand when I joined, it was 2/3 of a full page of a newspaper. Now it's about 1/8 of that. Because we're all over social media, we're all over multiple digital platforms, and you're getting the message out there directly.
Quick and snappy.
Quick and snappy.
Yeah.
But you can track it. You have no idea how many people have looked at your newspaper ad or have looked at your mail shot or whatever else you put out there. You know instantly who's engaged with your social media content.
Yeah.
So it's quick,
Cool.
it's snappy, it's direct, and you can tell who it's hitting.
Good stuff. Okay. Favourite creator, producer, artist, whatever.
So I'm going to have to say my chef's team,
Okay.
because I think I'll get in trouble if I don't.
Nice.
But some of the things they come up with, it just blows you away.
Yeah.
You know, they're responsible for the direction of the food output at the hotel, and what they do is always very inspiring.
Awesome.
And to be fair to them, we'll put a menu out, and it will go through various permutations before you get there. And like today, they'll be trialling dishes, they'll be cooking them, and they'll be getting the presentation right before they start photographing them. And that's all before customer number one has had the dish.
Yeah.
And I have been known before, quite badly, to actually say to my head chef, right, this new menu goes live in 2 hours, but actually I want you to do this now. And I've sprung a few surprises on him, and he's always met it, and his team have always backed him up with it.
Yeah.
And they've never produced anything less than 100%. They're genuinely inspiring, fantastic people.
Awesome. Really nice. Okay. Best way to get your message across?
Best way to get it, just openly and honestly.
Yeah. Nice.
You know, there's no point wrapping it up in a bow. You know, at the end of the day, if you're going to make something rather convoluted and rather indirect, then you're not going to get your message across. It's almost like you give someone a present and the wrapping paper's too good to open. You know, you're only going to remember the wrapping paper. Like when we were talking earlier about what message to give in this today,
Yeah.
and we went through 4 or 5 versions before we hit on what we wanted, and what we wanted was a streamlined version of what we were saying before. So
Yeah.
just be clear and direct.
Okay.
At the end of the day.
Cool. What would your message in a bottle be?
I'm really bored, so I'm putting a message in a bottle.
Okay, nice. I've got a message. What do I write? Yeah. Okay, nice. Meta.
Better, yeah. I'm not sure of the situation where I'd need to do that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd go for comedy. I'll probably fail, but I definitely have a high aspiration for comedy.
Nice. Okay. Biggest challenge in self-expression or in generally making things happen?
Sometimes articulation. It's very hard sometimes to, whereas I say, get your point across, but if you don't quite know what you want your point to be, and I've definitely been guilty of that before. So, you know, we have a meeting in January, I was telling you before, where we look at Christmas, and we look at the Christmas we've just had, and we look at the Christmas we're about to have. And forward planning is key, and we'll turn around and we'll say, this worked, this didn't work, and this is where we want to pitch it next year. And so soon after Christmas, it's really hard, but you're on a tight deadline. So inarticulatively, quite like I'm speaking now actually, inarticulatively, you're trying to get a point across, and you're somewhat ambiguous in what you're saying because you don't actually know yourself. So it's really about deciding what you want, and that could mean talking to 10, 15 people and coming to that decision together, or just doing it by yourself.
Yeah.
But it's actually knowing what you want before you direct it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. And then how do you spark self-expression or generally making things happen?
Normally, again, it's a group dynamic. You know, there's no person in any business, in any industry, that knows everything. No one's a finished article, and no one can turn around and say, I know how to do this consistently forever and a day. So what I'll do is I'll sit down with my management team, and my management team, there's about 8 of us, and it's different backgrounds, different genders, different ages, and actually a really good focus group. So we'll turn around and we'll say, this is roughly what we want, so let's flesh it out. And yes, the dreaded whiteboard's going to come out, or the flip chart's coming out, and you're all going to hate it, but let's flesh that idea out. Let's decide what we want to do as a team, because there'll be things that have occurred to you that haven't occurred to me or haven't occurred to this person here. Because we're all different, we all want different things out of life, we've all got different life experiences, and when you put that all in the pot, what comes out is sometimes rather wonderful, because you've covered so much more than if you've come in dictatorially and said, right, well, that's what I'm doing, crack on. And in fairness, don't you hate working for people like that?
Because everyone wants to contribute.
Everyone does,
in whatever it may be. In our work, we want to contribute and feel like we've added value, and sometimes we need to be given the space for that, don't we?
And the minute you shoot someone down or don't give them the opportunity in work, in life, whatever, then I don't know, you're president of the United States. It's
So okay, good stuff. That was our good round of quickfire questions. We'll go back to our discussion now, but I think it's given us a good insight into like how you look at things, which is really cool. So much to do, so little time.
Yes.
Like we said, Folkestone, we're very lucky, aren't we? People just seem to get up and do things. Like, I think maybe it's the time, maybe it's the town. There's opportunities for people, and people get involved. But again, you mentioned about it can be very easy, can't it, to be, right, well, I'm putting on this event, so I'm going to be so focused on it, which is good, because we need to have, like you say, clear direction to get things done. But sometimes we need to see the bigger picture. And you mentioned, kind of when we were chatting before, this term of like joined up thinking came up a lot. So I'm interested in kind of, this discussion of how we as members of Folkestone and how the people watching, can we start to be more joined up? Because there's a risk of saturation, isn't there? That so many great things going on and not enough people to attend them. How can we join these things up and kind of go, right, Folkestone's progressed, but now it's going to start plateau. How can we go to the next level?
Exactly. I mean, the thing about Folkestone that strikes me, and I've worked in a lot of places all over the district, and every place has got its dominant voices and its local characters. And that's from small villages up to huge towns and cities. What Folkestone's got is a massive amount of passionate people who've got a forum for their passion in the town, and the ability to phone up the people they need to and say, look, I've got this nucleus of an idea and I want to make it into something. Our car rally, which we put on every year, started in one way and ended another. It's grown every year because that nucleus of an idea has been allowed to breathe. And all these passionate people are putting on disparate events all around the district, all fantastic, again, absolutely amazing events for an absolutely diverse range of people. But if you look at the bank holidays as an example, you're looking at what's going on, and there's not one area, there's not one site, one directory that turns around and says, this is what's going on this day, this is this day, this is this day. There's not anything that's comprehensive. And as I said, using my own experience, there was something on the most recent bank holiday I thought that'd be great to go to after I met something else, because I didn't know about it, which one might argue is my failing not for researching it. But I think...
But if you don't know that it's on...
If you don't know it's on,
how much do we research? How much do we delve into those little things? We want the information kind of available, even more now, because social media, quick, consume. You want it there in your face.
We're a fast-paced consumer culture globally. Of any age, of any background, we now want to digest our content immediately and quickly. You find that, certainly in my experience, people don't want a long-winded way of going about things. They don't want 15 pages of this is what's going on. They want Saturday the 1st of X month is this, Sunday is this, Monday is this. And it is a quick-fire culture now, which is great. We get to the point a lot faster. So what we're really needing I think in this area, and in fairness across the county and wider, is some way of getting the message out to people. This is everything that's available to you. And as you say, there is going to be a saturation point, because looking again at this bank holiday, which is a perfect example, there was a lot more going on than there was the bank holiday before. And I fully expect that to grow, and it will come to the point that you can't fit everything in, and there's so much wonderful stuff going on, you can't fit it in. And I know for me, I was disappointed I couldn't do something, because deep down I'm just a petulant child by standard. So
I think we all got that in us, haven't we?
And you'll get disappointed. I wanted to do this thing I didn't know about, and it's really, really annoying, basically. And that's through no fault of anyone's. There'll be a lot of people that don't know what we do at the Grand, not for any reason. We've tried our best to put it out there, and we've done what we think is the best we can do, and of course there's room for improvement, but there will be people that have never heard of us, which is the same with people respectively that haven't heard of what you do, or any other business in Folkestone. So it really is about getting the bigger message out consistently to the biggest amount of people. We look at Town Talk. We've currently got 6,500 people on average per month, unique visitors to our website, that is, looking up at what we do. And it's in growth recently, which is fantastic. But again, that's not an exhaustive guide of what's going on in the district. That's just a snapshot. Much the same as if you visit social media sites for what I do or for what you do, it's a snapshot. And businesses, quite rightly, will promote other businesses, but they won't promote other businesses that directly compete with them. So you've got the Big Ideas Show. You wouldn't promote the Big Ideas Show for someone else, because that will take people away from you. Much like we will not promote a restaurant that's offering something the same day we're offering something, because again, that's taking business away from you. So I think what there needs to be is some sort of, not middle of the road, but some sort of way of getting a message out completely unbiasedly and putting everything out there. And again, there's some magnificent methods of doing that, but everything is a snapshot.
And also I guess by different mediums you're going to, it's a temptation, isn't it, to go, right, we'll just do one massive Facebook group where everything goes on there, and everyone, whoever set up is pushing to have everything on there, but likewise someone else is doing it in another platform, and you're going to have different people consuming it, isn't it? Is it kind of a losing battle? And it's maybe just making sure we have enough variety of good pockets, and kind of trying to include things rather than It's interesting, you talk about oversaturation. So you punch into Facebook Folkestone, or Twitter, you put into Folkestone, and a massive amount of things will come up. And again, very rightly so. But again, everyone, rightly or wrongly, is slightly biased towards what they're doing. So if you're someone that is running a site purely for live music, you're going to push live music. But you're not going to push pre-recorded music, or I don't know, another site that is doing something similar. We've got a huge social media output at the Grand, but we're not going to promote other hotels because we're promoting us. I don't expect other hotels to promote us either. So it's professional selflessness, or professional selfishness even, but I think that's quite healthy, because again, you're pushing your business forward. You wouldn't push a show like this that wasn't yours because you want people to look at your show. Is there, though, I guess, to something that's doing really well, that is kind of doing things a bit differently, and maybe there's a model there for to take in more things, bigger things. You say about local live music, made me think of it like Folkestone Music Town. And they've got quite a unique thing that it is for everyone, and this is where there's that funny line of, yes, you don't want to promote competition, but at the same time, if everyone's involved, then together we can all benefit. Exactly. Is there anything, and this is kind of maybe putting it out there to the people, that is it worth looking to be doing something similar to what Folkestone Music Town are doing, but maybe in their own spheres, and it would be music or events or arts. Again, if you're looking for a night out and you want music, you'll Google music, or if you want dining, you'll Google dining, and so on and so forth. So I think there's absolute mileage in that, and people that come in and take ownership of what they want to do, so again, music, dining, outdoor events, etc., who come in and say, right, this is what we're doing, that does give you a place to look at. Now, Town Talk is almost self-loaded content, so a lot of the time we'll go and we'll have a look at what's out there, and we'll take that and we will promote it. And other times people will send things to us and promote it, and it works well. But again, and you picked up on it earlier, you can't promote or know about what you don't know about. So it's really difficult. And you can employ someone full time to sit behind a computer and just look at what's going on, or even walk around the town and look at posters in windows, and just make a comprehensive list, and a week later it's all out of date. So it's a constant evolving thing. And there is so much going on here, and that is fabulous, because it's such a reason for people to come and visit us and put money into the economy, which obviously produces jobs. It brings, it raises the profile of the area, makes this a place that people do want to live and work in. But it's almost an evolving thing that no one takes ownership over. As in the global ownership, that is. And it's a tricky one, isn't it? But should there be some overall ownership? But it's got to be But it's that tricky thing of having some impartial ownership.
Yeah, it's got to be impartial,
to be able
absolutely.
to see that join up, because we've all naturally...
We're all
blinkered. Someone who can see it overarching and go, oh, you do know that you guys are doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Why didn't you join up and double the benefit?
Exactly
or
right. So
you're doing the same day.
You want someone to come in totally impartially and look at what everyone's doing and turn around and say, person A down by the harbour is doing this, person B up on the Leas is doing this. Now, if we could slot something in the middle, you've got progression for people either way.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everyone's benefited. And I think it's something that will happen. And it's not something I think people might turn around and say, right, well, instantly that's the local authority's job. Well, possibly you can make an argument for or against. But really, as business people, should we not look to do that? Now, Folkestone's fantastic in that there's so much goodwill here. I've found out of everywhere else I've worked, there's so much goodwill for not just the people here, but the businesses. And I think we all feel it. And I've been here a lot longer than I thought I was going to be here because it is such a nice place to be.
Yeah.
And with that level of goodwill, which extends domestically in the business world and throughout the people you see here, there should be someone that turns around and says, look, we can do this. Or maybe a group of people that says, we can do this. But it is actually going to be a very, very big job.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy and it's not going to be quick. And as every week, it's going to be out of date. So it's a full-time thing.
Yeah.
But I think something that would be beneficial.
Yeah, definitely. And it's also... If we're saying there's the end point, which is these events going on and kind of collecting them, but maybe it's if we're looking just at there, are we looking too late? And because then God, it's going on this weekend and then it's over. Versus, is it maybe a role of looking slightly earlier? And I'm kind of thinking on my feet here, but having a platform or a space in which people who are putting on stuff going, I'm thinking about doing this new event on this date. Can, as a collective, as a group, can you advise me, is anyone else doing it?
Yes.
But it's whether people are comfortable, because people don't like to share necessarily what they're doing for fear someone will steal it.
Steal it or compete with it.
Whereas what we're saying here is, well, if someone's doing something similar, you should know about each other because you can pool resources.
We were talking about Christmas, and we launched our Christmas brochure about 8 weeks ago. And the question is, when do you release it? Because we started taking bookings for Christmas in January, and we've had inquiries ever since.
Yeah.
So at what point do you do it? And do you just release it and not worry about what your competitors are doing because they haven't released it? Or do you release it in the start of summer in May when people are going to come and look at it and then they've comfortably got time to compete with you and undercut you and do this? So it's a question. When do you do these things? And there's no right answer.
Yeah.
You can put a rationale to any argument, but actually you can't travel into the future. You don't know what the reality is. You can base it on experience, but when do you actually release Christmas? Or when do you tell people what your event is? And if you release Christmas in May, are people fed up about it by the time Christmas comes and you've got no bookings anyway? So you just don't know.
Yeah. It's that coming together, isn't it? And for me, with that as an example, kind of going, right, rather than maybe competing, how can we all come together to get more businesses to come out for their Christmas dinner, so there's more business for everyone, so we don't really have to compete.
I feel like we should be doing this in Santa hats, because we've been here 2 hours now and all we talked about is Christmas.
Yeah, definitely. Oh God, don't. You can't say Christmas in August. What are we in? We're filming this in August. We're going to go out in September, so it'll be still too early for a lot of people.
It's mental. It's absolutely strange. It's bizarre to work in an industry where you're talking about the next Christmas 3 days after the last one ended.
Yeah.
Basically. And I think I said earlier, a lady I used to work with sort of took me to task a couple of weeks ago because I told her my Christmas meeting is September and she was holding hers for her hotel in June. So it's
maybe I'll have to put some Christmas music over it so that people can go, damn it, you're the first Christmas
Damn it, it's Christmas.
Song. Yeah. It's like, no, I don't like Christmas songs. They're overplayed.
They are overplayed.
Strictly December. That's the only time you're allowed to go. We massively digressed, haven't we? But I think that is we can continue to talk about this for very long. So I think we'll say we'll wrap it up there. Is there any? I guess my last kind of opportunity for you would be, what would you like to kind of put out or request to the people of Folkestone that they can be doing now to kind of maybe have more joined up thinking, either as attendees, participants, or as producers of events, organisers?
I think just tell us what you want, basically. We've got a huge facility at the ground. We've got a huge facility in Town Talk. 6,500 unique visitors is no small amount of people. What do you want your Folkestone to be? What events do you want? What events are you doing? What might we not know about?
Yeah.
And when we know that, let's look at how we can join that up.
Yeah, just talking, right?
Just talk,
Yeah.
basically. And do what we've just rambled and digressed. And I've used the word magnificent, which is a word I've never used in my life, incidentally. But just talk.
Yeah.
And we'll come to a point where we've got an action and we can go from A to B to C. Because ultimately, we're better together than we are apart.
That is a great place to finish.
Good.
Folkestone is better together.
Better together than apart.
There we go. Catchphrase for today. Well, but thank you very much indeed. If people want to know about kind of Town Talk, where can they find out information?
Town Talk, Folkestone Town Centre Management has a Facebook page and a Twitter page. Just Google us as Folkestone TCM, and all the details for Town Talk are on there.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.